Hello. Hello, students. Hello. Welcome back to Miss Gaylord's classroom. I'm very glad that you're here with me again today. I hope that yesterday went well and that you are um, learning a lot and figuring out how to use our Google Classroom. I hope that you are able to log in and see the assignments and to make sure that you are are listening and watching the video as Miss Gaylord teaches each day. I want to say hello, Alea. Hello, Elise and Sasha. Hello, Kalik. Dante. Hi, Krishana. Kalizia. Good to see you. Hi, Fumike. Charisma. Hello, Dante. Brendan. Hi, Jamar. Hi, Johnny. Hi, Allison and Harper. Hi, Shamad. I hope that you are learning well at home. If you have your Riggs journal or some paper that you're writing down the words we learned yesterday, go ahead and get that out. And I want you to practice writing the words that we learned yesterday. Okay, Miss Gaylord's going to call them out just like she does in class. Okay, so you can be finding that as Miss Gaylord is going to find a pencil and a paper in order to write those down with, okay? All right. Yesterday, the word that we learned was fewer. If you'll write the word fewer, remember we use fewer when we have two things, fewer. Number two, the word is fewest. Fewest. Remember, we use fewest when we have three or more things. Number three, the word is device. Device. I will use my device to log in. Number four, the word is bound. Bound. I am bound to get an A on the test. Number five, the word is ounce. Ounce. There are 16 ounces in a pound. And number six, the word is nearly. Nearly. I am nearly finished with all of my work. Okay, now, as you write those, have either you check them with your journal that we wrote yesterday, or you can have mom or dad check them and write the words that you missed to practice 3 times each. There's also a form on the Google Classroom that you can type the words each day. So as I give you the new words now, make sure that you are able to write those in your journal, okay? In your journal, just like we write, or either you can get pieces of paper is fine if you don't have a notebook. If you have a notebook, it'll be easier for you to keep up with, okay? So the first word that we're going to use today is the word basin. Basin. How many syllables in the word basin? 2. Very good. Okay. Basin begins with the letter B. B. Basin. Okay. Very good. The next letter in the word basin would be A. A. Now, basin we said is 2 syllables. So if you can hear the vowel sound in the one syllable, if you hear the vowel sound, we underline it. Okay. A says A. So when you hear the vowel say its name, we underline it. Basin. So after the A comes the syllable dot. Very good. Okay, the next sound in the word basin. S. Okay, S. Very good. S makes two sounds. Okay, what are the sounds of S? S. Z. Which one is it? One or two? One. Sound number one, no markings. Very good. Okay. The next sound in basin, basin, I. Very good. Okay. I makes three sounds. I, E. The first sound of I has no markings. N, n, N. Very good. Okay. N makes one sound. Basin. Now, what is the basin? Okay. It's a piece of geography that is, okay, a basin would be like a bowl-shaped little piece of land. If this was land and this is land, it's almost like a large hole, a basin. Okay, basin. Number two, the word is excuse. Excuse. Now, this one's funny because the E starts with a silent letter. We hear the letter X, X. So when we have a silent letter, we mark it underlined twice. X, 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 X. Okay, how many syllables in excuse? Two. Okay, so our syllable dot comes after the X. K, K, K. C. Very good. C makes two sounds. K, S, C. Okay, is it the first K or the C? Is the K? No markings. You. Now, the sound of you in this syllable, the U says its name, so we underline it. Excuse. Z, S. Okay, what are the sounds of S? S, Z. Excuse. So it's the second one. It sounds like the Z sound. Okay, so we put a 2 over the E, over the S. And then the last letter is the E. Okay, excuse. E. Okay, what job is that? Silent? No. Okay. Silent final E. Very good. Let's that vowel say its name. Excuse. Okay. Very good. All right. So the next word in our list, number 3, would be button. How many syllables in the word button? B, b. Button. 2. Button. Okay. Button starts with a b. B. Very good. Okay. What would be the next letter for button? The U. Okay. What are the sounds of U? U, It's the The first one does not get any markings. Okay. T, 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 T. Now, if there's 2 syllables in button and they have the double syllable, we put one on one side, then the syllable dot, and then the other here. Remember, we often double letters like L, F, S, T. And so we double the letter T, button. Now the O, what are the sounds of O? O, ah, oo, It does not follow any of those sounds. So what do? It's called a thinking cap. We put a thinking cap on the O. Okay, and the next one, N makes one sound. No markings. Button. Okay, very good. All right, the next word is the word strap. How many syllables in the word strap? 1. Strap. 1 syllable. Okay, but it makes a 3-letter sound. Strap, S, has 2 sounds. S, Z. Okay, it's the first one, no markings. T, 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 no markings. T makes 1 sound. R, no markings. R makes one sound. Together, this says stra, stra, ah, ah. What letter would that be? A, A. What are the sounds of A? A, O. It's the first one, no markings. Good. And the last sound is the P, 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 P. No markings. P makes one sound. So strap has no markings. Strap. Okay. And the last word for today is called the word clasp. Clasp. How many syllables in clasp? Clasp. One. Very good. Okay. K, k, k. What are the sounds of C? K, S. Two sounds. It's the first one. K, k. C. No markings. L. 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 No markings. L makes one sound. Ah. Ah. A. What are the sounds of A? A, O. A. First sound, no markings. S. 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 Okay. S. Good. The sounds of S. S. Z. S. First sound, no markings. P. 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 No markings. P makes one sound. Okay. Let's review our words, okay? Basin. What part of speech is basin? A basin is a noun. Very good. You can make a little part of your chart that has nouns, verbs, adjectives, okay? A basin is a noun, okay? Excuse. Please excuse me. What part of speech is excuse? Verb. Very good. A verb. Button. Now, button can be two parts of speech. If I say button your shirt, that is a verb. But if I say I like your button on your shirt, that could be a noun. So a button can be a noun or a verb. Okay, the word strap and clasp are the same as button. They can be two parts of speech. What would they be? Okay, you can strap on a backpack. That would be the verb. Please fasten the strap. That would be a noun. Good job. Clasp. Please clasp your hands. Action would be a verb. Okay, very good. And I broke the clasp on my necklace would be a noun. Okay, so you have 5 new words in your Riggs journal. Okay, so the next thing I'd like to do as part of the Riggs is I'd like to go over the phonogram cards. Now, remember, these cards are backwards, and the teacher, I will hold them up to the screen, but remember that they're backwards, and I cannot help that they're backwards, okay? So you just call out the sounds when I ask, okay? A has 4 sounds. What are they? A, O. C, 2 sounds. K, S. Good. D, 1 sound. D, D. F, 1 sound. F, F. Good. G, 2 sounds. G, J. Yes. O, 4 sounds. A, O, U, Ah. Good. S, 2 sounds. S, Z. Q, U, 1 sound. Qua. Very good. D, B, 1 sound. Looks like D. B, B. E, 2 sounds. E, H, 1 sound. H, H. I, 3 sounds. I, E. Good. J, 1 sound. J. Nice. K, 1 sound. K, K. L, 1 sound. L. Very good. M, 1 sound. Mm. N, one sound. N. Good. P, one sound. P, p. In our alliteration we learned, my students like to say this. Had a little pig, put him in a pen, fed him on peach peelings. One day my little pig, he went pop. R, one sound. Good. T, one sound. T, t. U, four sounds. U, V, one sound. V, W, one sound. W. X, one sound. X. What word in our list today in Riggs had an X sound? Excuse. Good job. Okay. Y, four sounds. Ya, it, I, e. Z, one sound. Z. Now, these are two-letter sounds. The of her. Good. The of early. The of works. The of nurse. The of first. Okay. These are two-letter sounds. Sh, used at the beginning of a word, at the end of a syllable, but not at the beginning of most syllables after the first one, except for the ending ship. E always says E. Very good. A, two-letter A that we do use at the end of English words. A, two-letter A that we do not use at the end of English words. Why not? Because English words do not end with I. Ow, oh, cow and snow. Ow, oh, ooh, Good. Aw that we do use at the end of English words. Aw that we do not use at the end of English words. Why not? Because English words do not end with you. Ooh, you that we do use at the end of English words. Ooh, you that we do not use at the end of English words. Why not? Because English words do not end with you. Oi that we do use at the end of English words. Oi that we do not use at the end of English words. Why not? Because English words do not end with I. Ooh, oh. Ch, k, sh, ch, k, sh. Ng, e, a. E, a. R, k, two-letter k, used after a single vowel that says a, e, a. Ed, d, t, past tense ending. Or, wha. Oo, I, that we do use at the end of English words. That we do not use at the end of English words. Why not? Because English words do not end with I. O, the O of boat. A-E that we do use at the end of English words. A-E that we do not use at the end of English words. Why not? Because English words do not end with I. A, four-letter A. I, three-letter I. E-I, our backwards phonogram. We say E-I, but we write I-E. Two-letter used at the beginning of a base word. Two-letter F, two-letter F. Two-letter used both at the beginning and end of a base word. J, three-letter J, used after a single vowel that says a, e, I, O, the O of toe. Ch, three-letter ch, used after a single vowel that says a, e, I, Sh, short letter sh, used at the beginning of any syllable after the first one. Sh, tall letter sh, used at the beginning of any syllable after the first one. Sh, z, used at the beginning of any syllable after the first one. And this one, o, oo, uff, off, aw, ow. One more time. O, oo, uff, off, aw, ow. Yay, good job. Okay, give yourself a hand. You completed your Riggs phonograms for the day. Okay, very good. All right, now, as you are thinking about your plan for the week, remember as you logged into the Google Classroom, you have a couple of things to do. It says daily, okay, daily websites. So don't forget to use your websites with your 20 minutes of the iReady. Okay, you have math and reading where you log in. You have teacher assigned activities. Okay, that's on one side in blue. And then you have your path. So make sure you're logging in your 20 minutes. Miss Gaylor will go into the computer and see who's done their iReady each day. And then you also need to work on your MobyMax as well. It tells you what to do. And you can do the fact fluency in math. You can also work on the science and social studies and MobyMax. And really, as much time as you want to on that, as long as you're putting in the time that Miss Gaylord has asked per week for social studies and science. Now, also what you can do is you can read, okay, on your own. You can read as much as possible. If you have a chance, we're going to, after we get through in a couple of weeks doing the iReady lessons, we're going to do a book study on the book called Charlotte's Web. So if you have a chance to have that, borrow it, maybe order it, you don't have to. I'm looking into a way to upload it to you so you don't have to get that book. But if you have it and want to get it, that would be a good thing to go ahead and get for you to have as a resource as we do our book study on Charlotte's Web. And we're looking forward to doing that. Okay. You get 1 star today for your Riggs lesson. You're doing a great job keeping up. If you need to take a break, press pause on the lesson for a minute, grab you a sip of water, go to the restroom, whatever you need to do. And we're going to move on to our next lesson as we review in math. Miss Gaylord said each day she'd like for you to review your time, okay, and your money. If you have some change around the house, that'd be a great thing to lay out. Maybe you've got a piggy bank you can lay out and you can count and practice the change and ask somebody to check it for you. That would be a great thing to do, okay? All right, so one thing as we review our time lesson is we need to know that the short hand on the clock is called what hand? Okay, that's the hour hand. Good job. Okay, the long arm on the clock is called the minute hand. You're right, minute hand. Okay, so we can tell the time by looking at where the hand is on the clock. So as you go across your clock, remember mine is backwards from the screen, but as you know, each number represents how many minutes? 5. Good job. So the 1 would be 5. The 2 is 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then o'clock. Now, let's review a little bit about the minute hand, okay? So we started with some of the easier ones. If the hand is pointed to the 3, what time is the clock? Okay, this one actually says 12:15. Good. Okay, if the hand is pointing to the 6, what time is it? 12:30. Okay, if the hand is pointing to the 9, what time is it? 12:45. Very good. Okay, and the next hour would be 1 o'clock. Now, what you might want to work on is when the hand is not exactly between the two on one of the numbers. Okay. If the hand is between the 3 and the 4, It's not 1:15. Actually, it's 2 minutes after 1:15. What time would that be? 1:17. Okay. If the hand is 3 minutes past the 6, what time would that be? 1:33. And some of the hard ones to practice are when the hand is all the way up here between like the 9 and the 12. Okay. Can you tell me what time that would be? It's almost the next o'clock, but it's 2 minutes after the 11. This time would be 2:57. And so you can practice those, draw out some clocks, have somebody draw some out, and check your time to make sure that you are able to practice that. And don't forget the time as we practice that daily, okay? All right, the next thing I'd like to review in math would be your money, okay? In our country, in America, we have a money system, okay, based on coins and dollars, okay? Remember the sheet that Miss Gaylord gave you the last week we were in school? This was some practice with the amount of money, okay? What is the smallest amount of money that you can have in our country? How many cents would that be? Okay, very good. Okay, 1 cent. What's the value of 1 cent? What does the piece of money look like? Okay, the penny. Very good. Okay, what's bigger than a penny? What's the next value of a cent in our country? 5 cents. Okay, how much is 5 cents? What is the piece of money that stands for 5 cents? Okay, the nickel. Very good. Okay. All right. What is bigger than the nickel? Okay. The piece of money, the value of this money would be 10 cents. What would that be? The dime. Very good. The dime. Okay. All right. So if we were to add all of these up, what would be the value of these pieces of money? Well, let's go to the ones place. Okay. Let's line our numbers up. And 1 and 5 would be what? 6. Good. 6 and 0. 6. Very nice. Okay. And 1 and nothing. That would be 16. So the value of these pieces of money would be 16 cents. So your job would be to practice some of these values of money. Okay, so let's look at this one if you can see. Okay, this one has pennies on it. Okay, I'm going to count with you and let's see how many we can get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What would be the value of those coins? 9 cents. Very good. Okay, 9 cents. Okay, how about the value of these coins? Can you tell? 8 cents. Perfect. Okay, what about the value of these? 5 cents or 5 pennies. Okay, so those are counting by ones. Each penny is worth 1 cent. Now let's count some nickels. How much did you say the value of the nickel was? 5 cents. Okay, let's try to count these. Ready? Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 nickels. Okay, now what's the way we can count 7 nickels? How much did we say 1 nickel was worth? 5 cents. Okay, so if we have 7 of them, we can count by fives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so can we count those by fives? Help me out. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay. What is the value of 7 nickels? 7 nickels. Okay. How many cents would that be? We could count 5 7 times, and the answer would be 35 cents. Very good. Okay, there's two ways to write 35 cents. You can write it with the cent sign like we've practiced, or you can write it with the dollar sign, 35 cents. Okay, very good. Okay, so let's count the value of these. Ready? Let's do these nickels. Okay, let's see if we can count the value of these. Ready? There's 3 nickels. 5, 10, 15 cents. Good. Can you count the value of these? There are 8 nickels. What would be the value of 8 nickels? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 cents. Very good. 40 cents. Okay, the next piece of money I want to talk about would be the dime. How can you write the value of a dime? Okay, a value is how much? 10 cents. Okay, you have 1 dime and you have how much money? 10 cents. You have 2 dimes. How much money would you have? 20 cents. Okay, 3 dimes. 30 cents. While adding these up, right? We add them up and we have 30 cents. Okay, can you add up these dimes? Let's do this one here. 10, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. You have 60 cents. Look at this one. How many cents do you have? $0.90. Very good. Okay, how many cents do you have here? 40 cents. Excellent. Very good. Okay. The last piece of money I want to review with you is your quarter. How much is the value of the quarter? How much is the value of the quarter? Okay, 25 cents. You have 1 quarter. How much money do you have? 25 cents. Okay, you have 2 quarters. How much money do you have? 50 cents. Very good. Okay, 3 quarters. 75 cents. And 4 quarters. $1. Okay, remember how to write $1? Okay, if I added 4 quarters, I could add 1, 2, 3, 4. And how could I write $1? I would write 1 decimal point 0, 0. Okay, and then I would write the dollar sign, $1. Very good. Okay, let's add up these quarters. Let's start at the bottom. Okay, how many quarters? 25 cents. Oh, sorry, the wrong page. Okay, let's add up these quarters. 25 cents, 50 cents. That would be worth 50 cents. What about this one? 3 quarters. 25, 50, 75 cents. Very good. Okay, let me give you a harder one. How about this one? Okay, you try. 6 quarters. How much is 6 quarters? 25, 50, 75, $1, $1.25, $1.50. Okay, so that's review, and that's some of the stuff you learned last time, okay? Today's lesson I'd like for you to look at would be in math, okay? Miss Gaylord has a couple of things to show you with math, okay? So in your Google Classroom, some of you have printed out your pages, and that's awesome, okay? Notice there is a tab for the for the pages you can see in the book, okay? And those pages would look like this. They're just printed there for you. You can print them off and write on them to practice with. That'd be awesome. Or you can just listen to the video and then go back and do them at the end. Now, there is a homework page for you to do each night attached to your the math on the week of March 30th. There's a homework for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those have to be filled out. You mark the answer and then make sure you hit the button to turn in, okay? That's the way Miss Gaylord can get your grade, is when you hit turn in. Now, there also is some practice. Remember this book where every night you would tear out the homework? Well, Miss Gaylord has attached those for you to do as well. And so those are the practice pages. If you'd like to print them out and get practice looking at the shapes and things that we're studying, that would be great. Okay, so if you have your practice pages printed out for today's lesson and you want to look at them, if not, you can just look at them later. But let's review a little bit about some things we learned yesterday. Okay, all right. What do we call this shape? Okay, right. It's the square. Now, a square has something about it that's special. Can you remember what that is? Okay, it has straight sides. You're right. How many sides does it have? 4 sides. Okay, how many angles? These are what we call the angles, where the 2 sides meet. How many angles does the square have? 4. Very good. Okay, it has 4. Now, this shape is a square. This shape is not a square. What shape is this? Okay, this is the rectangle. Now, the rectangle looks similar to the square, but what's different about the rectangle? Okay, it also has straight sides, but the sides are not all the same length. You see the top 2 are long, the sides are short. Okay, does the rectangle have angles? Yes, okay, how many? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Both of these shapes have a name. Do you remember the name yesterday we learned? What does the prefix 4 mean? Quad. Good. Okay. So these are called quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals. They're 2 different shapes, but they both have, excuse me, 4 sides. Okay, I'm going to show you some shapes. Would this be considered a quadrilateral? Yes. Do you know why? It has 4 sides. Good. And 4 angles. Okay. Is this considered a square or a rectangle? A rectangle. Good. Because the sides are not the same lengths. Okay. Very good. Okay. What about this square, this shape? Square or rectangle? Rectangle. Okay. Very good. Now, these are all called what? Quadrilaterals. Okay, very good. Okay, let's review a little bit of the shapes we learned yesterday. What shape has 3 sides and 3 angles? A triangle. Triangle is correct. Okay, now triangles can be different shapes. Triangles can all have the same sides, like my green one. If they do, they're called an equilateral. Triangles can have 2 long sides and the bottom can be short. A triangle might look like this. We call this a right triangle, okay? And they're all different shapes, but they have 3 angles and 3 sides. Is this a triangle? No, good. We learned this shape yesterday. What shape is this? Yes, it's called a rhombus. Can you say that? Rhombus. It has 4 sides. It has 2 sides that are parallel, and these 2 sides are parallel. That means they go the same direction. It's called a rhombus. Okay, a rhombus. Another example of a rhombus would be this shape. Okay, this shape is also a rhombus. Is this shape a rhombus? No. What is this shape? It has 4 sides, but the sides are not what we call parallel. They don't run all in the same direction. 2 sides run in the same direction, and these 2 sides run. So we call this a trapezoid. You say that with me? Trapezoid. Now, a trapezoid, remember Miss Gaylord talked to you about the line? A line, do you know how to draw a line? Okay, a line would be where a piece of has 2 arrows there. Okay, remember? And what did we say the arrows meant? It goes on how long? Forever. Very good. Okay. Not to be confused with this. This is called a line segment. It has a starting point and a stopping point. A line with arrows goes on forever. So just think in your imagination, if these are lines and they go on forever, it's going to be this direction and this one's going to be this direction. They're going to cross, right? So they're not parallel. If they cross, they're not parallel. These 2 will never cross because they run the same direction. Okay. That's called a trapezoid. It has 2 lines that'll never cross and 2 lines that will cross. This is called the trapezoid. Okay. So another shape we learned yesterday would be this shape. How many sides does this shape have? This has 6 sides. Okay, how many angles? This is an angle where the 2 sides meet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What do we call a shape with 6 sides and 6 angles? A hexagon. Can you say hexagon? Hexagon. Very good. Okay, so let's look at some of these shapes, okay? Is this side this shape a hexagon? No, it's 4-sided trapezoid. Is this shape a hexagon? No, it's 4-sided and a rectangle. Is this shape a hexagon? Yes, it has 6 sides, okay? Now, if you look at your book, Ms. Gaylord would like for you to look at your book at the pages that we are going to do here. This is where I am. You can go back and look at it later if you don't have it printed out, okay? And it says we do 3 things. We're going to picture it, we're going to draw it, and we're going to connect it. It says, some friends hunt for shapes around the school, and then they draw pictures of the objects that they see. What are the names of these shapes? Okay, look for this shape. This turned this way. This is the first one. Okay, you probably already know it. Okay, this is the second one. And then the last shape is a shape Miss Gaylord did not review today. The last shape is a 5-sided figure. Okay, I talked about it yesterday. And it looks something like this. Okay, let's remember. What shape has 5 sides? We call that a pentagon. Has 5 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, the angle is where the lines meet. And 5 sides. It's called the what? Pentagon. The pentagon. Okay, so look in your book, and it says to draw. Under draw it. You can draw the shapes. I want you to draw the triangles. If you want to draw some like Miss Gaylord, you can draw some that are different shapes. See how they're different triangles? You can practice those. Draw shape A, shape B. You can draw some different sizes for your rectangles. You can draw them different ways. Okay, you can draw different rectangles. And then I want you to draw what we call the 5-sided shape, a pentagon. Take some time and draw those shapes. Push pause on the video if you ever need to. okay, if we're going too fast. Okay, so this is just review. So then go to the next page where it says connect it. What you're going to do is tell me what is the name of the shape. Okay, shape A. What did you write for the name of the shape? Yes, good. Triangle. Triangle. How many sides does the triangle have? 3. Good job. How many angles does the triangle have? Also 3. Very good. Okay. Shape number B. What shape is this? Rectangle. Good job. How many sides does the rectangle have? Write the number 4. What's the number of angles that the rectangle has? Also 4. Very good. Okay. Shape number C. What shape is this? The pentagon. Okay, a pentagon. How many sides does the pentagon have? 5. Very good. And how many angles does the pentagon have? Also 5. Very nice. Okay. All right. So for the next part, you're going to write the answer. Now remember, there's a place for you to write the answer in the document that we uploaded to the Google Classroom. Okay. Number 3, what do you notice about the number of sides and the number of angles? What do you notice about the number of sides and the number of angles? Okay. Are they the same or are they different? When you wrote the answer, they were the same number. Now you write a good sentence that tells me that you know that the number of sides of a shape and the number of angles of the shape are the same. Now, what is another name for, this is number 4, shape B? Okay, these are all the same types of figures. What is another name for these? Okay. It is a rectangle. So it is a rectangle, but what's another name for the rectangle? Any shape with 4 sides is called a quadrilateral. Okay, it's a big word. Go back and look at yesterday's lesson to look up the spelling. Quadrilateral. Remember, a rectangle is a quadrilateral. A square is a quadrilateral. This is a rhombus is a quadrilateral. Okay, it's got 4 sides. How about this trapezoid? Also a quadrilateral. Quad means 4, a 4-sided figure. So when you write your answer for number 4, make sure you write a rectangle is also called a quadrilateral. Now, does this shape have any angles? No, we call it a circle. Now, a circle, this is flat. It's not 3-dimensional. It's different than a ball. This is called a circle. See, it's flat. It's not 3-dimensional, okay? When you look at the try it, we want you to draw 3 shapes. Okay, take your pencil and draw a picture or more than one if you want of a triangle. Okay, you want to draw a picture, it says, of a shape with three angles. That would be your triangle. Now, when you go to draw your shape with 4 angles, you can draw any of these ones I've shown you. You can draw any of these that have 4, whether it be any of these, okay? And draw one with 5 sides, okay? And 5 angles. And so you can show me that you know your shapes by doing that, okay? Now, don't forget to also complete the homework in the Google Classroom, okay? Very good. Okay, you got your second star. Good job. You are doing a great job today, and Miss Gaylord is very proud of you, all the hard work that you're putting in, okay? If you need to take a pause a minute, press pause on the video, stretch, get yourself some exercise, or run to the bathroom and then come right back. And we are going to start reading in just a minute, okay? If you need to gather your papers for reading, if you've printed them off, here we are. We're looking in our book. This is our page. It's called Earwigs. These are the pages we're looking at in our iReady book. Okay, yesterday in reading, we talked about a couple of things. Do you remember what we called an important idea about a topic? A key point. Okay, we use a key point to be able to understand what the author wants you to understand. Okay, when an author is writing about something, the key point will also have reasons underneath that will support or make sure you understand what the author's talking about. Okay. How many of you remember the insect we learned yesterday? Okay. We talked about two insects that could be hiding in my little plant over here. Hear that? One of those insects was the one that looked like a leaf. What insect was the one that looked like a leaf? A katydid. Yes, it looks like it has a green leaf on its back and it's able to blend in its surroundings. What word in science means blend in the surroundings? Camouflage. Good, good. Another one looks like it's walking and it looks like a twig or a stick is on its back and it looks like a stick. What do we call that insect? The walking stick. Yes. Those two insects look like their surroundings so they won't get eaten. What is the animal called that is the one that is being eaten? We call that prey. That is the prey. Very good. What is the animal called that does the eating? That is going to eat another animal? We call that the predator. Very good. So today our lesson is a science article and it's called earwigs. You might say, what in the world is an earwig? I've never heard of an earwig. Well, an earwig is an insect. If you need to, press pause on the video so you can read the story by yourself. I'd like for you to read it silently. Earwigs by Jane Kinzer. Okay, I hope you've come back and read the article, and I'm going to go over a few things with you, okay, in reading. Now, today, what we're going to do is we're going to try to understand what the author wanted us to understand, okay? So in the article, there were several key points that the author made. There were two things that they really wanted you to understand about earwigs. Listen as I read. Paragraph 1. Many people do not like earwigs. These small brown insects scurry up walls and they have big pincers. But earwigs aren't as bad as you might think. Believe it or not, earwigs make very good mothers. Many insects lay their eggs and then leave. Remember, we talked about the sea turtles and other animals that bury their eggs and then go back and never see their babies? But earwigs don't do that. Not earwigs. The mother stays with her eggs, cleaning them and keeping them safe. She even helps the babies hatch out of their eggs. Once they have hatched, she helps them eat. She also keeps them out of danger. Earwigs are not as scary as they look. Sure, they have wings and big pincers, but they do not use their wings often. And earwigs don't like to use their pincers on humans. They use them mostly to catch prey. Even when they do pinch people, they're just keeping themselves safe. The pinchers don't cause any harm. The next time you see an earwig, remember, it's more than just a creepy bug. Now, I don't know about earwigs. Miss Gaylord is not a fan of insects, so I really don't know how I would feel around an earwig, but the author gives me two key points she wants us to remember. Can you tell me what they are? Okay. One of them has to do with the fact that she's a good mother. Now, look at the story. Go back and underline something, a reason that you think an earwig is a good mother. Underline in your text, or if you're watching this later, you can do it after you pull up the classroom. What are some things that make the earwig a good mother? Okay, they don't leave their eggs. After the baby's born, they stay with the eggs. And what do they do for the baby? They feed it. Okay, sometimes they even help it hatch out of the egg. They help them eat. Good. They keep them out of danger. Okay, all that is part of the reason why the earwig is a good mother. Now, why are some people like me and maybe you are afraid of earwigs? Anything with a pincher is not my friend, right? But it says the other key point is they're not as scary as they look to us. Okay. Many people are afraid of that big pincher, but does the story say the earwig uses the pincher on humans? Not often. Why do you think not? Yes, humans are so big that an earwig would have a hard time using the pincher on a human. All right, it says, what do they use those pinchers on? Mostly to catch their prey, right? They don't use their humans very often. They use it on their prey. Now, if you will look in your reading book, or you can see in the classroom a document where we've let you can write or type in your answer. This is what we're talking about is the key point. First of all, we're going to talk about earwigs are not as bad as they seem. Now, in the story, you just underlined two reasons why earwigs are not as bad as they seem. What is one reason? Okay, they make good mothers. So on the chart, as you type in your answer, you need to write sentences. Earwigs make good mothers, and give me some details. They stay with their babies, period. They keep them safe, good, okay. They even feed them. All of those would be under your reasons. Another reason under the key point, earwigs are not as bad as they seem. The first reason was they make good mothers. What's the second reason? They're not as scary as they look. Okay. What could we write as a detail under they're not as scary as they look? They do not use their wings very often. Okay. That would scare people to have a flying insect coming after you, right? They do not like to use their pinchers on people. That would be a reason. As you are either typing or writing these, make sure you fill in all of the blanks, okay? Now, after reading that article, okay, about the earwigs, how many of you think that an earwig would be a fun insect to have, maybe pick up or hold or have in your bedroom at night? Give me the thumbs up. After reading it, how many of you still don't think you want to have an earwig in your hand or in your bedroom at night? Give me a thumbs down. Okay, so do you agree earwigs are not as bad as they seem? Yes or no, they're still bad? Okay, that's the talk about it. So talk about it to somebody around you, or talk to yourself, or talk to me on the screen. What do you think? They're not so bad. They're still pretty bad. As you turn over to the short response, let's think about this question. Why don't people have to worry usually about the earwigs pinchers? Now we need to come up with a way to write our paragraph. When we do writing, remember how Mrs. Gaylord likes to web what we're writing? How about you take a piece of paper there with yourself, and how about you make a how about you make a web on these earwigs, okay? Remember how we make a web and then we write down some answers? The question is, for the short response, why don't people have to worry about the earwigs pinchers? Think about some things that our answer would need to mention, okay? Do they use them on humans? It says not usually. They usually do not use them on humans. I'm going to put that in my web. Trying to perfect, had to write backwards on us. Okay, so not on humans usually. Okay, what do they use the pinchers on? Okay, they use them on their prey, so you need to mention that. Not on humans. Okay, but on their prey. All right. And what would we need to mention? Why don't people have to worry about their pinchers? Okay, because people are bigger than earwigs, right? They're very small compared to people. Okay, so make sure you mention those in some of your answers. Make sure to write a full paragraph or type it in the Google Classroom under your response for the short response. There's a space on the form for you to do that, okay? Very good. Okay, so this lesson for reading is on describing how authors use reasons to support their ideas. Okay, very good. You get another star for reading today. You're doing a great job keeping up. Gaylord appreciates your hard work. If you need to take a stretch break or grab a sip of water, you can do so now, okay? Very good. All right, so the next thing I wanted you to look at was in your social studies classroom. If you click on the Google Classroom, you can see that there are, let's see, Ms. Gaylord is going to look at her computer really quickly. Okay, if you look in the Google Classroom, there are PowerPoints there for you to look at. There are 4. Okay, yesterday you looked at the one that said page 125. Okay, and today you will, let's see if we can get it to open up. It says Economics with Miss Gaylord, day 2. Okay. Let's see. There we go. All right. So that's where we will find the lesson for today. And you will be able to open up and see what Miss Gaylord is talking about in social studies. Okay. All right. So yesterday we learned that what is economics? What is the word economy? What does that mean? Okay. An economy has to deal with resources. Okay. When we thought, a lot of you think that word money comes to mind with economy, and that's right. But it's not just money. Yesterday we learned resources are things that we can use to meet our needs. They might be natural resources like air, water, dirt, trees. Those are natural resources. It might be money resources like dollar bills or money that you have. It could be people. People could be a resource. It could be people like you and me, and we do things to be a resource for others. It could be equipment. We talked about that lawnmower is an equipment, a piece of resource that I use to help me. A shovel helps me dig a hole. A hammer helps me drive a nail. Those can be also resources, okay? And resources we learned in the last lesson are limited usually, okay? And sometimes there's not enough resources to go around. What is that word we talked about when there's not enough resources? There's a scarcity, or the word scarce, meaning there's not enough, right? And sometimes we have to make a choice. Miss Gaylord showed you the little example where somebody really wanted to buy the toy. Okay, this is a fun little toy made out of Legos that I know you'd like to see. And your choice was to buy the toy or to save the money. And you told me, what would you do? You want to buy the toy, or are you a saver of the money? Okay, you had to make a choice, right? We talked about how every choice means you'll get something, but then you'll have to give up something else. In the choice where you can buy the toy or you could keep the money, Miss Gaylord told you that the thing that you have to give up, we'll learn in today's lesson, is called your opportunity cost. Okay. You can buy this toy, but it's going to cost you to give up the money. That's the opportunity cost. Okay. Let's look at another example today where we can talk about that. Okay. I really want some ice cream today. I haven't been out of the house very much, and I want to go to the store and grab me some ice cream. Okay. Mom gives me $1. Could I go to the store and get an ice cream? Or I really want to use that dollar, though, maybe to go to the dollar store. Maybe if I'm a girl, I want to buy this little plushie animal. I love a stuffed animal. So maybe I want to use my dollar on that. If I'm a guy, I might want to buy this football to throw with my brother. Okay. I've got $1 and I have to make a choice. I really want to eat some ice cream, but I really want that animal or that toy or the football. What should I do? I only have $1. I've got to make a choice. Okay. What would you choose? Can you tell me? What would you choose? Okay. Now, what you chose, let's say you chose the ice cream. What you chose, you got the ice cream. It was a good ice cream. I ate it. It's good. It was really good. It's all gone. What did I give up? I could not get. Could not get that plushie or that football or something to play with. Okay. I ate the ice cream. What is this called? The thing that you had to give up because you chose to do the one thing. Okay. It's called your opportunity cost. Your opportunity cost. Okay. Let's think about the examples I gave you yesterday. Okay. You have a choice. You've got some money and you can either go to a ball game or you can go buy a pizza. Which would you choose? Okay, you chose to go to the ball game. What did you give up? You gave up the pizza. So we call that your opportunity cost. Okay. Now think about your time. You got those 2.5 hours, and you can either go to the movie or you can go skating. What would you choose? Okay. Let's say you chose the skating. What did you give up? You gave up the movie. That's your opportunity cost, right? Okay. You went to the arcade and you only had so many tokens to spend. You can buy some candy with those tokens. Maybe some cotton candy, or you can play the video games. We really like our video games, right? Which one did you choose? Say you chose the video games today. What did you give up? No cotton candy for you. Remember the example of the bedroom, okay? You have a room only a certain size. Would you choose to put a king-size bed in there? It takes up the whole room, but you can stretch out at night. You can sleep really well. Or would you choose to put smaller beds, maybe a little set of bunk beds and have the whole floor where you can play with all your things. You can put a desk in your room. What would you choose? Okay, you chose the bunk beds maybe because and you gave up that nice king size bed. That was your opportunity cost, but you have a lot of room left for you to do things, remember? Another thing I want to talk to you about is in economics are the two things called goods and services, okay? Now, do you know what a good is? If I say, I'm going to go to the store and buy some goods, okay? What would be a good? Okay, give me some examples. There's no wrong answers. There's lots of goods you can buy. Okay. Okay, just here on my table, I got some goods. Okay, I've got that football, I've got the dog, I've got some drinks over there, and my lunch is waiting. Okay, those can be goods. Okay, this phone can be a good that people buy. This ice cream, those can be goods. Okay, what about a service? What's a service? Somebody says you're going to do a service for somebody else. Okay, a service. Okay, could be bringing you your mail to your mailbox every day. Picking up your trash. Okay, that somebody comes and picks it up from your can that you pay to do that. Okay, a teacher giving you a service. I'm teaching you right now so you can listen and learn and keep up. Okay, another service. Okay, a policeman who rides around and checks on your neighborhood during the day and night. Okay, those are services. Those doctors and nurses who are working now to keep us all safe in the hospitals, those are services, okay? Now, goods and services are different. Now, when you have goods and services, there's ways to what we call allocate or decide who gets them, okay? Now, first of all, most people, when they go to the store and they're looking at maybe a piece of clothing, they see this piece of clothing, maybe it's your favorite football jersey, boys, or maybe it's your favorite dress, girls, and you look at the good that you're about to buy, and there's a couple things that cross your mind, usually if you're a shopper. What is those things? Okay, first is the price, right? You might look at the price tag and say, you know what? Grandma gave me this much money for my birthday. I really think I could buy this. Or, gosh, that's way too much money. I really don't think I should buy that. So a way to decide where your money goes is to allocate it. Decide if you're going to buy it, right? Okay. So price is one way that you allocate your goods and services. Now, if the price is low, are more people going to buy the thing? Okay. There's a sale this week on Legos. They are more than half off. Are more people going to buy the Legos this week or less? More people usually are going to buy something if the price is lower. Okay. Right now, the price is really high on these. Okay. Let's say we've got this motorcycle, fancy motorcycle. The price is really high. It's really expensive and it's really high. Are more people going to buy this motorcycle or less? Only a few can buy it, so less. The price is going to decide who buys and who doesn't buy, right? Okay, another thing we need to know is this, okay, is we call this word majority. If you have a question you're asking, and I'm asking my classroom, okay, I've got two kinds of ice cream today. I've got strawberry and I've got vanilla. Okay. How many of you would rather have strawberry ice cream? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay. All right. How many of you would rather have ice cream? Okay. All right. 7 of you said strawberry. Okay. If you would rather have vanilla, raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay. 8 of you chose vanilla. Which one has the most? Which one has the most votes? Okay, the 8, vanilla. That was the majority. The class will get vanilla ice cream because 8 out of 15 of you voted for the vanilla. We call that word the majority rule. Okay. Sorry, but today we're not going to have strawberry because the strawberry did not have enough votes. In this method we used, people get to vote. We raised our hand to see which ice cream we wanted. Then we allocated the ice cream. We gave it out based on who voted the most votes. 8 of you wanted vanilla, 7 strawberry. So we allocate, okay, by a majority rule. Those are the two ways. Either price, how much it costs, or who wants more of it, the majority rule. Okay? The word majority means more than half of your total. Okay? Let's take another example today. Okay? All right, this time we're going to vote with a yes or a no. Okay. All right, how many of you like this video lesson of Miss Gaylord more than school? Okay, if you vote yes, give me a thumbs up. You like being home, you like learning on the video. If you would rather be in school, you vote no. I'd rather see you, Miss Gaylord, and get a hug and be in class with you. You vote no. Let's pretend that we have 2 votes, okay? All right. 6 of you voted you like the video better and you'd rather stay in your pajamas and stay home. But let's say 9 of you voted, I miss you. I want to come back to school. I vote no. I'd rather be learning with you in my classroom. Which one would be the majority rule? Okay, 9. Okay, the 9 would be higher, more than half of the class. Because remember, how many are in our classroom, guys? 15, right? Okay, so 9 of you, let's say, voted this way. So the majority rule would win, okay? And we'll talk about those. You can look through the PowerPoints. If you want to even look ahead and know what we're learning about with economics, you can do so. Now, by the end of the week, by Friday, there's a Google form. You need to click the answers so Miss Gaylord can grade the answers in social studies to make sure that you know what we're learning. Okay? Very good. All right, let's see. Miss Gaylord had a book and a story out for today, and she lost it. This is actually the second time I'm filming this lesson. It didn't go through the first time, so I'm sitting here trying to film it again a second time. Hopefully this will be one that you can watch. And I lost my story that I had today to read. Today, as you are remembering, okay, as I'm going to wrap up here, don't forget to do the daily websites, okay? Do the daily websites. Also do check the Google Classrooms for those other teachers, Spanish, art, Miss Negley's math, PE, music. They also have assignments for you to do. Don't forget to get outside and get some good exercise in the sun. Enjoy this time with your family. Okay. Today, it was called, the one I wanted to read you was A Fine Good Day. Today, I'll have some things to do. Oh, may I do my very best. Help me to think of others too, when I would rather play or rest. Please let me have some fun. Please love me when I work or play, so when night comes and my day is done, I'll know I've had a fine, good day. Now, Miss Gaylord knows that this is hard for us, but I also hope that you're using this time to enjoy your family. One thing I wanted to end up with was our language lesson, okay? And I want to review a couple of things. Each day we'll try a new skill in language as well as the parts of speech on Riggs. But we talked about some things with sentences last week. The last week you were there at school, okay? We talked about things that were a complete sentence. What do we call something that has a complete thought? Okay? We call it a sentence. Very good. There are 3 ways to end a sentence, okay? What if you have a statement? What do you end that with? Okay, we end that with a period, and we call that a telling sentence. On your quiz at the end of the week, it'll put T for telling. What about if you have a question? Question, okay? You'll end it with a question mark, and that is called a question, or the word you'll learn later is called an interrogative sentence. Okay, what if it's telling you to do something? Pick up the paper, turn off the light. Okay, that ends in a period as well, and we call that a command for you to do something. And what if we have a sentence that shows strong or sudden feeling? We call that an exclamatory sentence. That's an exclamation point, okay? So make sure you know those types. What is it called when your sentence is not a complete thought? Okay, what's the word for not a complete thought? Somebody yell it out to me. Okay, yes, good. It's called a fragment. A fragment you will mark as not a sentence, NS, or not a sentence, okay? Give me some examples of a fragment. Okay, NS, or not a sentence. Give me some examples of a fragment. Okay, just call them out. Up the street, around the corner, over the hill. Very good. Okay, those are fragments. They're not a sentence. They're part of a sentence. So as you do that Google form, make sure that you are looking at those types of sentences. We're also going to look at some other punctuation marks in the coming days. Okay, tell us what this kind of punctuation mark is called. I forget, I got to write it backwards. Okay, what is this called? It's called the comma. What are some times that we would use a comma? A comma. Okay, yes, if you have 3 or more things in a sentence. I like strawberry, comma, vanilla, comma, blueberry, comma, and chocolate ice cream. Okay, if you have 3 or more things in a sentence, we use a comma to separate them. Okay, when would you use a comma? Okay, when you have yes or no at the beginning of a sentence, you add a comma after the word yes. Okay, after the word yes or no at the beginning of a sentence, you'd put yes, comma, or no, comma. Okay, when else would you use a comma? Okay, use a comma in dates and addresses. Remember, we talked about between your city and your state. Okay, if you have the city or state in the middle of a sentence, you would use a comma there after that. Okay, when else would you use a comma? Okay, now the thing we learned last week is if you have 2 sentences that are simple sentences and you want to put them together, you can put a comma in between. What do we call that kind of sentence? A compound sentence, okay? Over the next few days, we'll upload some material on those type sentences. Compound sentences are examples like this. I need to go to the store, comma, and I have to pick up some paper. That would be 2 thoughts with a comma in between, okay? So those are our thoughts for today. And make sure that you have, you are looking for those documents there under language. This week it's on sentences, okay? Now remember, if you have any questions or need to email me during those office hours, Ms. Gaylord is available between 11:30 and 1 o'clock. And unless I'm on the phone with another parent, I should be able to get back to you or answer the phone, or I'll be able to email right away. Okay. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a learning experience. So just make sure that you are doing your best, and that's all that we can ask for. Okay. All right. Well, tell me something good today. Monkey wants to tell you all goodbye. Okay. And I hope that you've had a good morning so far of learning. And we are excited to come to you every day and bring you today's lesson. And we can't wait to see you tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow. We'll see you then. Goodbye. Goodbye.